Welcome to the Mismatch. I'm Chris Vernon, and joining me as he does every week from TheRinger.com is Dave Jacoby. Jacoby!
What's happening, Verno? I have heard more about Kawhi Leonard, Pablo Torre, and Mark Cuban than I care to in the last month. It's getting ridiculous.
We needed something to fill the void. Now, we do have a lot of things that have filled the void as we've been doing one show a week, and I will say we do have a lot of things that we're going to get to that have filled the void since we last spoke. This Kawhi Leonard story, though, has taken precedence over everything. We have got first Pablo Torre and all of his outstanding reporting on the matter, and then we were followed up with the Baxter Holmes article, which quoted all manner of Clippers sources, talking about how they were slowly moving away from the Kawhi business. And then a lot of there's a lot of things that were mentioned in the article. Like the headlines are going to be like, they're done building around him and all that stuff. But the details of it were super interesting. It was like, okay, this has been a long time, but now people are willing to talk about this because it's like, okay, he's brought like this is now, we have reached mega bad press time. So let's go ahead and talk to everybody about how terrible this Kawhi Leonard thing has been. You know, he's only played 58% of his games, but did you know that his camp doesn't even let anybody talk about him? Do you know that there are stipulations on the coaching staff not being able to talk about him, that there's instances where the coaches or the staff may have been pressured to stay silent about things, and that everyone just lives in fear of Kawhi Leonard and his camp? And it's like, oh my gosh, this is like, it really is. It's one of those like, okay, I'm ready to tell you everything since we're all pissed off about this aspiration thing.
And the thing about it is that I keep going back to is like, I really liked the Clippers offseason. Like I really did. Like I was high on the Clippers at the end of the regular season. They went 7, you know what I mean? And lost. And I thought they really improved their roster. And now this is all we can talk about. And on media day, he's going to have a microphone in front of him. And he's not going to say anything. He might just stay silent the whole time.
I don't know. They say that he can, you know, he's able to talk about when he wants to do obligations and when he doesn't. And it was so funny as I was reading. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, Baxter Holmes wrote a big article on ESPN.com about kind of the Kawhi Leonard experience in L.A. One of the things that is mentioned, it deals with media and dealing with the media and this fear of, and look, before I get into the Kawhi Leonard specific, let me just say, every single team outside of possibly Miami and Pat Riley, who doesn't care, maybe Popovich and the Spurs, every single team lives in fear of making their star mad. That is not in any way unique to the Kawhi Leonard experience. They all live in fear of the star player and the camp. All of them. And they all have to be like, that's the league we're in now. When you pay somebody $500 million, you want them to be happy. That's why coaches get fired. That's why roster moves are made. That's the business. These guys, the most important person in the organization is always the star player outside of Miami and San Antonio for the last 30 years. Like, really? That's about it. Outside,
I'm trying to think of exceptions, and it's hard. Yeah.
No.
Well, it's because everyone's job is directly tied to team success.
Yes.
And team success is directly tied to the performance of your best player, the superstar, the franchise player, and you want that franchise player to be happy.
But there are levels to how you kowtow to it. And the reason that the Kawhi thing was so crazy is because as I'm reading about it, it talks about how coaches or some people maybe within the organization are pressured to stay silent. I went and covered a basketball game, and I went back and looked it up. And I'm just going to give this to express how I felt when I was reading the story. As I was reading the story from personal experience, I was like, oh. I went and looked it up on March 31st, 2023. So this is 2 years
Not
ago.
long ago. This is right in the middle of the Kawhi stuff, actually.
I covered the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Anybody can go look this up. It was a game at FedEx Forum. When I show up to the game, I'm like, oh, wow, he's playing and he's starting. And you didn't know whether or not he was going to play or he was going to start in that game because it was listed as Kawhi Leonard, questionable personal reasons. All right. I was like, all right, well, maybe we'll get to see him. Maybe we won't. I'm always excited when the star players from the other teams are playing.
Of course.
Comes out in the first half. It's like, oh boy, Clippers, like when they've got Kawhi, they are good, brother. He had 12 points in the first half. It's a nip-tuck game. Come out in the second half, he's not there.
I remember this.
He's not in the game. And I'm like, what is going on? So it is commonplace when I am on press row that somebody's not in the game, and PR will then send out, whoever, like name the guy, Devin Booker, unlikely to return, ankle sprain, whatever, right? Like there's a reason given.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
There was nothing given. No one ever sent out anything.
This.
Okay? No one's ever sent out anything. So then we get to the post game. Russell Westbrook, and by the way, the Grizzlies go on to win. They run away with the game. And we get to the post game. We're like, why? Kawhi Leonard didn't get hurt in the first half. Like, what is going on? Like, they had a back-to-back in New Orleans. So we're like, did he really just sit out the second half so that he could play in New Orleans the next night? And so Russell Westbrook's asked about it. He's like, I don't know where he was. No one said anything. And I'm like, what? So then Ty Lue is like, we've said what we're going to say. I don't want to talk about it. We're like, what is going on? Now, by the way, he did not play, I don't believe, in New Orleans the next night.
No, I don't think he did. But this is not common practice. This is very much not how this normally goes.
To this day, there's been no reason given why he didn't. It was the weirdest thing I have ever been a part of at a game. I have never seen a guy go and cook in the first half in like a close game, doesn't come out at halftime, and there's no united message as to what has happened. His own teammates were like, yeah, we don't know why he wasn't out here in the second half. I mean, like, what is going on?
We'll talk about other things in a second, but if you put yourself in his shoes, he prepped the entire day, napped, ate, stretched, workout, training, warm up. He did all of that to perform in the game. He probably felt something physical in the first half that made him feel like, and he's made independent medical decisions in the past, that he did not want to continue and play in the second half. But normally protocol is, hey, Kawhi, what's going on? He says, my right knee doesn't feel right. And they say, okay. And the PR person says, knee questionable to return. And,
yes.
And no one talks about it. And it's not, no one's talking about it 2 years later on a podcast. That's all it takes. But what it sounds like, based on Baxter's article and things that we hear, that they're like, Kawhi, what's wrong? And he's just silent, and then he leaves.
Honestly, as soon as I read the article, I was like, oh, they weren't allowed to say. Like, it's like, not only will I play whenever I want to play, don't talk about it.
It's wild. And so we've all seen Pablo's stuff, and I watched him and Dan, and shout out to them. You know, this is a big story. Pablo's name is in everyone's mouth. Friend of mine, love it for him, right? The question of like what happens now is really tricky for Adam Silver.
Oh, yes.
You've got this investigation going on. Obviously, something happened that's not okay. It's clear. There's enough evidence. There is no smoking gun, but there's a dead body and there's a gun and Ballmer's holding it. It's just not smoking.
Do you worry? I would worry if I am Adam Silver or if I am Steve Ballmer or anybody else. Like, don't you feel, this is how I feel. I feel like Pablo Torre is now, and you're friends with him?
Yeah.
I know him just as a media personality, right?
Yeah. We work together. We eat dinners together every once in a while. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you don't have to divulge this if you actually do know. I feel like Pablo Torre is sitting on more.
Bro, he's
just
IV
waiting.
dripping this stuff to us.
No,
he's IV
waiting.
dripping it for the clicks. Like
He's
he could have dropped the whole thing in one pod.
He's like,
but now he's just slow playing it and IV dripping it into the news cycle. And I honestly think they're like I am a conspiracy theory guy. I think there's like bigger things at play. I think at some point there's like a guy is going to walk up next to Pablo while he's walking down the street and be like, "You're coming with me. Get in that car." Like, we need to know what you know, and we need to know it now. Like, it's like getting kind of dangerous.
Well, because also what happens with something like this is, I would guess two things. A, he's probably sitting on more and just waiting. Like, say something. I dare you. Say something and wait till I drop this tomorrow, right? Like, it feels like he's sitting on probably more, and maybe that more has even come since the first report, because I you know the way this works. Once the seal is broken and he puts that out, you're going to have a bunch of people line up, be like, "Hey, and did you know this? And did you know this?" Or like, there's going to, you end up increasing tenfold the amount of people that want to talk to you about this.
Well, here's what it is we always talk about Steve Ballmer, the Clippers, and Uncle Dennis and Kawhi and Pablo Torre. But I think like that at the heart of this story is this huge company that was a fraud, that was completely fumbled, that was supposed to like fix climate change and was just a huge fraud scheme. And there was dozens of people that worked there that lost their jobs, that felt like they were on an ascending company, an aspirational, pun intended, company.
Right.
And they had good salaries and lifestyles and bought mortgages and have kids. They put in private school and the rug got pulled out from under them. And those are the sources that will give you the dirt. And those are also the sources that you can't trust to be 100% objective because they've got a slant on it.
Right.
But like, there are so many people that got fucked by Ascension that are willing to talk. Aspiration. Sorry, I used to send.
Forgive Ascension. Earlier. That's probably another
another company. You can plant trees. Give them $1 to plant a tree for 10 cents. The whole thing is hilarious to me.
It is.
It's hilarious to me. But
it is.
But when a company goes under like that, and it's clearly Sandberg and Chaudhry's fault, there are dozens of people that got screwed over, and they are so happy to tell you all of the dirt that happened while they were there.
Yeah.
And I made a promise to myself that I will not speak publicly about ESPN in a negative light because they've done so much for my life. But I got some information. You see me at a bar, buy me a couple beers. We can talk.
So, on the next episode of Pablo Torre Finds Out. Adam Silver, I have really changed my opinion on this. The more that Pablo drops, and the more evidence that keeps building that something nefarious that you just kind of have to look at and go, all right, bro, how did you not know? Like, I got Mark Cuban saying, no, it's very easy, you didn't know. Like, all right, like, we've got to, at some point, you line it all up and you be like, all right, Uncle Dennis asked for all this stuff. Then then we have it in writing that this type of stuff did happen. And then it's like, but... So I just feel like I think I wavered. I was like, after I watched the Cuban episode, I was like, if this is how billionaires really think, and that's the conglomeration of the owners that Silver answers to, he might actually get away with this, right? Because if he is a rightful example of how many of them would think, and so they more so relate to a billionaire getting scammed than they do this guy would try to be doing these dastardly deeds and circumventing the cap. I think that's where I was probably when we last recorded, the more that Pablo drops and the more stories that come out, to me, it becomes okay. Like something. I feel like if they slap them on the wrist, Pablo's going to drop the mother load. I would be so scared if I'm Adam Silver to slap them on the wrist, and then the next day Pablo's like, "Oh, you want to slap them on the wrist?" Because now you got Baxter Holmes digging too, and it's like, okay,
it's pretty gnarly. And I have so many thoughts on this. I don't want to spend too much time in this story, which has been overcovered. Shout to Pablo. What is Mark Cuban's motivation for defending Ballmer like it's his brother? Like what? He's not even like an owner or governor, I guess we're supposed to say.
I don't even want to.
What is Mark Cuban doing? Like, why is he covering for this guy? Why? Can you figure that part out? Answer that question. What is Cuban doing?
I don't want to because I'm fearful.
Why? Why is Cuban?
My inclination as this has gone on and he dug his heels in so much and put out a 60,000 word tweet about the situation, immediately I was like, oh, he's done it.
Yeah.
Right?
Someone call Chandler Parsons right now.
I was just like, okay.
Didn't Dirk take some discounts at the end of his?
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, I see this. So he's not defending Ballmer. He's defending himself about
that's how
future
I
investigations.
Felt, but again, I have absolutely zero evidence to suggest that. I'm only telling you when I saw the 60, I was like, okay, you care too much about this.
Yeah, he's so dug in on this. Like, you have to remind yourself sometimes that Mark Cuban has the option to say nothing.
Right.
He has the option to say nothing.
Yes.
But instead, he's decided to be like, oh, no. No, you don't understand, Pablo Torre. This is how it really works. Right. Let me really tell you about carbon credits. And, you buy them up front. And then they plant the trees, and then they're like, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? They didn't even plant the trees. Somewhere there's a field that's empty of trees.
Yeah. I just thought, especially when it's somebody that's your competition, again, I'm only telling you my feelings. I have literally no evidence to suggest. I am only telling you that when I saw it unfold, I was like, you care too much about this, bro. Like, okay, what is going on here?
But then it's like they're going to void his contract. My initial thought was like, that'd be perfect for the Clippers. But then it's like, the void his contract and keep the numbers on the books. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, there's been a lot of shrapnel from the Kawhi Leonard story that has been continuing throughout this summer, one of which is tough look for the commish. The commish, obviously, first, here's the mashup of him first addressing said reports and then having to go with the front office sports guys and clear it up within a week's time.
When the podcast came out, it was news to me. I'd frankly never heard of the company Aspiration before, and I'd never heard a whiff of anything around an endorsement deal with Kawhi or anything around engagement with the Los Angeles Clippers. So it was all new to me.
If I said I never heard of it, I meant in the context of the accusations here. I mean, I certainly was aware of the brand, but I didn't know anything about it.
Got
it. Oopsie.
Yeah. His PR team has got, it's just been facepalm emoji after facepalm emoji because this came right on the heels of your poor ass can't watch all of our games, but we let you watch the highlights.
Yeah, we're a highlight league. I don't even watch the games. I just
that's
the
how
highlights
everybody
on Instagram.
took
How
it.
I follow the league. Yeah.
I mean, it was just a grand miscalculation to address a question about how, people are going to have to spend an awful lot of money to be able to afford all the different outlets for us to be able to watch all of these games. And then your response is, well, you can watch the highlights for free.
Yeah,
we put them on YouTube, and we're kind of a highlight league. The commission had to walk that one back too.
Tough. And I'm an Adam Silver supporter. I like him. This is a really tough spot for him because when it comes to punishment, we don't know what else is going to come out or what other, what else Pablo Torre has in the sixth revolver there, but he's going to have to punish them pretty strongly. This cannot be a slap on the wrist thing. But he also, if he does punish very strongly, Steve Ballmer can hire some lawyers and say, where is proof?
Yeah.
And that can drag out. Like, this whole thing can just drag out for a long time. And Kawhi Leonard hasn't said a word.
In
a word.
15 years. That's the only thing. If I asked someone to tell me a Kawhi Leonard quote that wasn't urban legend.
I'll tell you. When he said boardman gets paid, he meant the people on the board of Aspiration. That's what boardman gets paid. We were all thinking rebounds. He knows who really gets paid.
All right. Back to the Adam Silver tough week. So he did the whole highlight league thing, and then we'd be remiss if we did not at least hear his explanation for saying the NBA is a highlight league, which he also addressed with Front Office Sports right after he had told them, of course I know Aspiration. I just didn't know the context.
When I said that I'd never heard of them before, I mean, I'd never heard of them before
in this context.
Circumventing the cap. Yeah.
All right, here's the highlight league walk back.
Portion of the question, the end of the question, was about the impact of social media. That's what I was answering on our sport. And what I was saying in a very positive way, and I think it's additive to those who watch our games live and increase the likelihood that they'll watch our games live. By saying highlights based, I meant, when I watch the traditional Sports Center, and they have the top 10 plays and 5 of those are NBA plays, I'm like, yeah, I'm not thinking like, oh, damn, like more highlights are being promoted from our league. I mean, conventionally, the reaction that was like, that's really good. It's a live game full of highlights.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what he was trying to express. What was he trying to say?
We're still broke. We're trying to get Peacock and Devo. You're trying to order. My man over here can't even. He's got to buy Gotham.
We can't even go to the games. Forget going to the games. I can't even watch the games.
No, I mean,
yes, but Gotham
he
Sports.
twisted it into. Yeah. That is like, look, his PR staff's like, no, just talk about how it's awesome that all of our highlights are on. There's some of these sports that don't even let your highlights be on. The different stuff. So just stay on that because, the whole idea is they're on this new TV deal. It's great for the NBA, but not great for the fans. That's it.
It's not even not great for the fans because
it's not.
It's fine.
No,
for the fans.
It costs you because if you want to see if I tell you that the Lakers are playing the Nuggets on Monday night and you don't have Peacock, you can't watch it. So it's not great. It's not. I've got to have 4 different things in order to watch everything now. That's not great. But
you can also get Below Deck and Vanderpump Rules on Peacock.
Just gonna watch the highlights. I'm just gonna watch the highlights. I mean,
I don't pay for Nets games, so I can't really talk.
What? But they're bringing back Cam Thomas. You got to.
Oh, Cam Thomas is going to be.
Cam Thomas contract year is not.
You know what? I'm making a declaration right here. I am paying for the Nets games on Gotham Sports because I want to see Cam Thomas not pass the ball and Michael Porter Jr. not pass the ball and 5 rookies stand around being like, this is not what I thought the NBA would be like.
Look, the reason that we're talking about that, not because we care about the Cam Thomas Brooklyn situation,
I'm about to pay $60 a month for them or whatever.
No, it informs our opinion on the Kuminga thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've seen how the other restricteds, played out. Josh Giddey was able to get his contract.
Fair market price.
And then Kuminga he rejected, according to reporting, he rejected a 2-year $45 million, then a 3-year $75 million with the team. The third year's a team option, so that gives you
It's
48.
kind of the same deal. It's like a little, yeah.
It's 48 million guaranteed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, or a fully guaranteed 3-year, 54 million with no team option. Okay,
Yeah.
so now you are
Big gap.
really okay. So here's the deal, though. This is the craziest one. So Sam Amick, who obviously has covered Sacramento forever and would certainly know that's one of the teams that has been mentioned a great deal as a team that would be pursuant of Jonathan Kuminga. It said, this is, and he's also covered the Warriors as well. Been a Northern California guy forever. It says, the Warriors may be reluctant to trade Jonathan Kuminga to Sacramento, partly because they fear he could become a star there, per Sam Amick. Listen, there is a sense from some people involved that there's a real reluctance to not only to finally quit on him, if you will, but also to see him go up the road to another Northern California NBA team. It's run by a guy in Vivek Ranadive who used to be with the Warriors. And what if Kuminga blows up and becomes a total star? From a personal ownership dynamic level, there are some folks that feel like that could be playing a small part. Again, that's not really relevant because these other things are the real obstacles. But I mean, Joe, like a lot of other owners, is very involved too. Okay, that was a quote from Sam Amick, which going back in time, we can remember that Joe Lacob, like that whole story was like Jonathan Kuminga. Remember when he was introduced and he was like had dinner with Joe, like that always felt like Joe Lacob's pick, like a pet project for Joe Lacob. So the owner obviously has a lot more stock in the Kuminga thing, working out than the coach certainly does, who wouldn't even play him in that first round playoff series last year. And didn't until, honestly, they lost Curry. Didn't even go to him. And so I don't get it, right? Like, let's hash this through. On one side, you would sit there and you would go, either you like him or you don't, right?
Well,
am I wrong?
I think they've shown that they don't like him, or at least Kerr.
Okay,
doesn't like him.
Okay, then why not trade him? Like, they don't want to trade him, but they don't want to pay him.
Well, wait. They're offering him a 3-year, $75 million deal, which for me is a pretty fair price for Jonathan Kuminga.
Most people think, and I would agree, that is exactly what Houston, when Jalen Green signed his contract, everybody said that's a trade contract.
Yes.
That's exactly what I think Jonathan Kuminga knows is true.
But
if it's a team option, they can do whatever they want with him, screw with his minutes, if Kerr benches him, whatever. If it is a player option, that is a much different story. And also, if he signs the deal that is a team option, he's sitting there going, all right, and they're going to trade me, and wherever they're going to trade me is going to pick up my team option, so they can send me to friggin' Siberia, and then I'm like, oh, crap.
Is that so bad when you're making $25 million a year?
If you think that you should be making more already. I'm just saying, like,
who's telling him that he's worth $40 million a year? Who? Who?
Certainly himself and his representation.
But you can twist the numbers and say, look, Curry goes down. Look what Kuminga does. Look how well Kuminga played in these spots. And, you could twist some stats around on Basketball Reference to make him look really good. But he is he's a potential player. He does not have a lot of proven performances that make me feel like if I was a GM of an NBA team that I would commit $40 million, which is a large percentage of the salary cap, for Jonathan Kuminga. I think the $25 million a year average is a pretty fair market price for Jonathan Kuminga. And if I was his agent, I would be like, sign it. Because what you don't want to do is play for the qualifying offer of $8 million, have a no trade clause, spend the entire year just messing up the locker room, not playing. Steve Kerr's mad at you. You're pouting on the bench. And then your value goes down. And then you're looking at $15 a year average from an unrestricted free agent. Like, where am I missing on this? Why doesn't he just sign?
Well, I think I'm from, and again, a lot of you and I have the same opinion on Kuminga. Like, I would not be fearful that he's going to go off and become some kind of big star.
No.
This feels like, and I think the reporting would back this up, that there are different camps. You know, when you got cooks in the kitchen, that there's different opinions on what should be done with Kuminga, which is exactly why the deadline is October 1st. We are to September 18th. And there has been absolutely no decision made on this. And so it's like, it's 2 weeks away from this deadline. And
hold on, Verno. 20-second timeout. There's a huge elephant in the room. And that elephant's name is Jimmy Butler. And the reports today and yesterday are that Jimmy Butler is making phone calls. Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? And once Jimmy Butler starts making phone calls, something's got to get done. Because no one knows how to tear apart team chemistry more than Jimmy Butler. And if he's unhappy and he feels like the organization is not doing right by a player or by the rest of the team, like if Jimmy Butler starts making phone calls, something's got to happen.
How can everybody, honestly, I'm not defending Jimmy Butler, but whether it's Jimmy Butler or Steph Curry or whoever, any fan of the Warriors, all of them, including you and me, it's September 18th. Like, what are you doing? That is
they have 9 players. They have 9 players.
It is a totally...
What if you're Al Horford? You're like, bro, when is this going to happen?
What is this offseason? Like, and honestly, you're to the point now because it's so messy and it keeps getting messier. What's the best outcome?
He signs.
Really? You think you think Warriors fans, when they announce that Jonathan Kuminga signed his contract, are going to be like, yes? I don't think that at all. I
was thinking more as Jimmy Butler.
No.
I'm thinking if I'm Jimmy Butler, he signs, Horford signs, Milton signs, we've got a team, let's go play basketball.
Oh, yeah. I
was thinking of Jimmy Butler calling the front office being like, let's do something. If it's 75, make it 80, make this go away. Or start a company that plants trees and pay him that way. Whatever you have to do.
I mean, we're either doing this with Jonathan Kuminga or we're not. And, like, are we going to make it a trade? Or are we going to, like, what? Why is it September 18th?
Yeah.
Everybody else got done, like, months ago.
I should have been on the beach applying SPF, thinking about what I'm going to grill tonight when this decision was made. What are you doing for Halloween? You know what I mean?
Training camp starts in 10 days.
Yes.
What are we doing?
I ultimately think he's going to sign a 3-year deal with a team option. It's going to be $80 million. That's what it's going to be. That's how I think it's going to play out. It's going to be a trade, sign a trade. He's going to take the qualifying offer. This is where we're going to end up.
I think he ends up traded.
To where? For what?
I just don't think if he was going to be I don't think he wants to be a Warrior.
I don't think so. And I don't think they want him to be a Warrior, but they're back in this corner.
So what are we doing?
I don't know.
He doesn't want to be there.
It's the couple that stays together for the kids. They're staying together for Steph Curry.
He doesn't want to be there. They don't really want him there.
Steve Kerr doesn't want him there. Steve Kerr was giving him DMPs in big spots.
God. I know.
And Steve Kerr's got to be, Jimmy Butler's calling the front office. Steve Kerr's got to be calling the front office being like, I don't want this player. And they're gonna be like,
so you think he signs there? I think they finally find a trade.
Then you get 60 cents on the dollar. I have to say,
if you get a player that Steve Kerr would theoretically put in the game in the playoffs, I don't know if it's 60 cents on the dollar. Again, you've made your decision that you've got your coach, right? So if I get a player that he would put in the game in a big playoff spot, that's
who's
better
that?
than I mean, they rejected like Malik Monk. Don't tell me Malik Monk couldn't be in a playoff game because he could for sure.
I'm a big fan of Malik Monk, but I don't think we'll do our season preview stuff. I'm low on the Warriors. I don't think Al Horford fixes this team. Like it's like, oh, we got Al Horford. Now we're championship contenders. We'll do that later, though. We'll do that later.
Not a big Al Horford guy at age 45.
No, when Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry played together, one of the best defenses in the league. I just think that's all. Like, I think they're just playing all playoff games down the stretch. I'm selling Warriors stock right now.
All right. Well, is that and that is not dependent at all on whether or not Jonathan Kuminga is wearing a uniform.
It's terrible if he is. It's terrible if he's not. Like, there's no good outcome here. Right. Everyone's losing.
Everyone's losing. Speaking of everyone losing, or is there a winner in the battle of words going on between Patrick Beverley and Trae Young? Podcast wars. So Patrick Beverley went out of his way to besmirch Trae Young and also say that he doesn't win enough and that he doesn't try in the All-Star game. And also, I've talked to people in Atlanta and they don't like
that's the part. I think that's the part that really hit.
Of course it does.
Is we've all heard these rumors. Don't act like you never heard the rumors. You've heard them. I've heard them. That there are certain people that play with Trae Young that don't like playing with Trae Young, right? This is not like breaking news. There's been murmurs for years about this, right? I will forever love Pat Bev. I'm sure I've told the story before. I did television with him and he's wearing white jeans. And then I saw an internet video of him playing at West 4th Street, pick up basketball against strangers in the same white jeans 2 hours later. And that to me is just like, this guy is a basketball god as far as I'm concerned. I watched all 12 minutes of the Trae Young response. Pat Bev
hold on.
We'll
give a little context to it. Here's a snippet of what you watched with Trae Young.
You said it. You went to the playoffs 9 times. I've only been to the playoffs 3. You're right. You have 6 more playoff appearances than me. Let's bring up some more facts. You've been to 1 conference finals. I've been to 1 conference finals. What year was that for you? Just another fact. Year 9. The year I made it was year 3. Just a fact. You want to know another one? You averaged 7 points and 2 is. I don't even know why I'm doing this.
That was the best part.
That was the best part. Some more facts, actually. You talk about a winner. What have you won? Tell me, what have you won? And don't respond with that like sympathy. I won in life. I won in basketball because you did, man. You made it to the NBA. There's very many people that can say that. But at the same time, bro, it's levels to this shit. It's just different timetables. I get it. You talk about winning and impact winning and all these things. You've been on some teams with some big time players. How about I go through a list of these guys? LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Ant-Man, Cat. And we're not even going to talk about how we celebrate play-in wins. I win play-in games on the road, and I'm ready to get to the playoffs. You win play-in games at home, and you standing on the scores table acting like it's a championship. We celebrate wins different, too.
That was tough. That was a tough one.
I love that.
Going after his play-in win against the Clippers.
One of the things I loved is Trae Young is like Pat Bev is doing like a professional podcast. I think it's for Barstool. And I like that. I like that pod. I see the clips. It's, and I like him. I don't know him personally. We did TV together like twice. But Trae Young clearly is not, he doesn't have a home studio. Someone just bought a microphone. He's like, I have to respond to this. And my favorite part is in the middle of the whole thing, he's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, he was disgusted with himself halfway through, being like, why did I prepare all these facts? Why am I responding to Pat Bev? This is beneath me. I shouldn't be doing this. And that was what made him so relatable, because he's a little uncomfortable in front of the microphone. The lighting was weird. He was just kind of like a little awkward, but he felt like he had to respond. And the part that you played when he's like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, was the biggest diss that he had. Forget all the facts.
Wait, Jacoby, he has a podcast.
Trae Young does?
Yeah.
Who doesn't have a podcast?
He does.
He has a podcast?
Yeah. I mean, he announced he had one like last year.
At the end of the clip, he was like, wait till I take this podcasting stuff seriously. That was like the last thing he said on this. It's an 11-minute clip. I don't think he has a podcast. I have no idea. I assume everybody has a podcast. But he was not.
I think if you are, and this is one thing I will say about NBA podcasts. I want one of two things. I got to be honest with you. Either tell funny stories,
Jeff Teague.
and yes, and be self-deprecating. That Teague has hit this out of the park.
Perfect.
He's the best at it, right? Or like I do like the talking mad shit. Like if you're just gonna talk crazy about each other, like I do. I know too. Again, it's great. Like I will say that I do quite enjoy the controversy aspect.
Well, I do want
right?
to say there is a third box that I'll put this in. Is I don't watch the LeBron James like Steve Nash like mind the game stuff, but I like the idea of like going hard X's and O's. Let's take the fans behind the curtain on like what we're really thinking in terms of strategy. I like that too.
Even though you don't watch it.
Even though I don't watch it.
You went, so you
I see
don't
the clips online. Yeah.
You don't really like it. You just.
I mean, it's in theory, I like
sounds like the right thing to say.
Yes. Yeah. It's like caviar. It's like, yeah, in theory, I like it. But when I taste it, I'm like, oh, this is gross.
All right. So are you team Pat Bev or team Trae Young?
I'm team drama, man. I'm team toxicity. I'm team beef. I'm team drama. I'm team give us something to talk about in September. I think that they're in very different positions career-wise. So it's very difficult to say that Pat Bev is a more effective basketball player than Trae Young. But part of Pat Bev's whole thing is like, I'm a dog. I'm the best player in the world. I can defend anybody. I'm a champion. And I like that. I think they're both playing their role.
I will say, I don't think he wouldn't mind if I speak out of school on this. I was at an event earlier this evening, and Tony Allen was there, so I talked to him about it.
Of course. I mean, there's a direct correlation between Tony Allen and Pat Bev.
I had to. This is what he said. He said, the one thing I didn't like about Pat Bev, he goes, because he does a podcast too, Out the Mud with Zach Randolph. And he said, when I was a player and when Trae's a player, and like when you're a player, the one thing that drives you crazy is people shitting on you with a source. That drives you crazy. That's why we end up hating the media. He goes,
an unnamed source, we'll say that.
He said, I don't like that Pat Bev did that. I don't like that, like, now you're in the media. You know what I mean? Like, now you're doing a podcast. Like, because we were those guys in that locker room. And when the little white nerdy guys wrote their articles saying a source told
such
me
and such said that he doesn't practice hard. Yeah.
He goes, that would be, it would bother you to no end, because then you're looking around like, who's saying that about me? Right. And he's like, so just as being on the other side of it, the unnamed source is such a, for lack of a better term, source of indignation from players towards media that when like, and Trae Young said, say who said that. He did say that.
Yeah.
Say who said that. Say it. Say who said that. Who said that they didn't like playing with me? Who said that I'm a bad leader? Who said that I'm not a winner? Right? Like
John Collins. I'm sorry, what?
That, honestly, there would be nothing funnier. There would be nothing funnier than if Pat Bev said, fine, John Collins.
Sorry, John. I understand if you block my number now. We've all heard it.
That would be the best. That would be the best. All right. Couple things that we got to get to before we get out of here. Thank you for Pat Bev and Trae Young for providing us with the content.
We really appreciate that. One thing I do want to say, just to spin it to basketball, because I watched this whole 12-minute thing. At the end, he's like, Jalen Johnson's going to have an all-star season. He's like, I can get ready for this. Jalen Johnson's going to have his first all-star season. We got Chris Stapps healthy. We got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I mean, I knew all these things. Like, we've all like seen the transactions or whatever, but to hear Trae Young sort of like go down the list is like Ricochet or whatever. I was like, I don't know, man. This year's Pacers might be the Hawks.
It's just a little light when it gets to the bench.
And the bigs. I think because you're relying on a lot from Okongwu and Chris Stapps.
And you catch a couple injuries. You don't really have the infrastructure behind it, in my opinion.
But still, but to hear him say it, I was like, he's like, I get ready for the season. I think he said something about a championship. I don't know.
It's totally fair to say their starting lineup, if they can remain intact and they can play a large amount of games, the starting lineup is as good as virtually any.
And if Ricochet takes a leap, Jalen Johnson takes a leap.
Outside of New
Dyson
York.
Daniels, like, what are we doing? Like, they got a team.
Outside of New York, they're stronger than anybody. Just starting lineup.
We want to see it. I want to see them play basketball together. But like in theory, and he mentioned it out loud. He wasn't just talking about Pat Bev the whole time. It was just kind of like it hit me. I was like, man, there's a reason to be very happy if you were a Hawks fan.
How about another team that if it all did work, they might have they may surprise people. What is your confidence level in shape Embiid? Yeah. Drafted VJ Edgecombe, the Jared what's
McCain.
Obviously
Maxie McCain, Edgecombe,
Paul George,
Joel Embiid, like it's like I
got players.
Man. I don't know.
What did you make of the pictures? I was shocked. He looks like he's down a bunch of weight.
He does.
Embiid. He really does. He looks like, a lot of times you will see these pictures in the summer and be like, okay. Like, Luka and Embiid are both ones that you see them and you're like, all right, that ain't an angle. Like, they're just way smaller than they were.
Yeah. I have Luka, Embiid and Zion are in the same camp for me. It's like, I just have no faith that you can stay on the court. I just have none. I don't care how much weight you lose. I don't care how good you look in the offseason. I do not care. I have no faith that you can stay on the court. It's no fault of yours. It's just your bodies.
Are your knees just shot? Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're lighter. Okay, maybe it'll help you have a little less pain, but you're still going to wake up every morning and your knees are going to be sore, and that's just the way it's going to be forever.
And you talk about Luka losing weight. Like, Luka is always injured. I don't think I've seen Luka play a game where he wasn't ailed in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
But he stays on the court.
He does.
And Embiid does not stay on the court, and the Sixers do not win games. So, like, I'm sorry. I did this last season. I thought the Sixers were going to be good.
Couple other rapid fires. Michael Malone, full-time at ESPN. We like? I do.
I like Michael Malone.
I'll go ahead and answer. I like this, and I do think that he is a good element to bring to ESPN coverage.
Yeah, he's like a New York guy. He's from Long Island. Yeah. His dad was a coach or something. Like, he's just like a basketball guy.
I think he could be a very good analyst. I also think he will end up back in coaching, and this could very well be shorter lived than you want.
This is a Bill Belichick thing where it's like, get me in front of the camera, keep me on people's minds, and then I'll go coach.
And I'm going to go ahead and get paid off. I'm going to let them pay me for not coaching.
Yeah.
Right?
Has anyone reached out to you for coaching positions?
No.
Yeah, we're in the media. We're in NBA media. No one's ever.
NBC is going to allow or going to have NBA analysts courtside by teams' benches. This is something they do in hockey. In a takeoff of Inside the Glass, which has gone on in hockey, NBC Sports said this week that it's going to situate its NBA analysts by the team benches for some games this season. They announced that it will station its NBA game analysts courtside by the team benches for some telecasts this season in an effort, and it's calling it an industry first. Analysts are going to be able to listen into team huddles and provide firsthand information from the bench, presumably much the same way as a sideline reporter. Who is going to get the most pissed off about this?
Oh, I think this is Emily Kaplan that does this with hockey on ESPN, where she's like in between the two benches, sort of like
Darren Pang did it too, didn't he?
Yeah,
they're like, let's go down to Panger.
Yeah, and then they're like, well, guess whatever. It's one of those things where it's kind of like miking the coaches. Like, they can't say the good stuff. They're not going to come out of a timeout and be like, well, they're running a play for Austin Reeves to come off of a screen on the left side. Like, they can't say that.
Right.
So, like, it would be more fun to hear the analysts get hazed by the players and just that interaction of just like being mean to each other will be more fun than what the information we get from the analyst is. And also, I have a question. Listen, maybe I haven't like seen the full logistics of how this all works. I know you're very close to some of the huddles sometimes. Isn't this called sideline reporter?
Yes.
Isn't this the exact same role that we've seen for 40 years of watching NBA basketball?
Yeah. Now I will say
the difference.
One caveat that could make me care about this a great deal. Now, again, this is one of those like broadcast innovations. Let's let it play out, and then we'll decide. Right? We can't know.
I have no idea. But I think this already existed. They just renamed
it's a cool
the sideline
press
reporter.
release. But I will say, if you want to get me super interested, here, I'm going to get you on the hook. You want to get super interested?
Oh, talk to
the NBC is announcing that there's going to be an analyst by the bench that will be able to listen into team huddles and
Michael Jordan.
That's what I was going to say.
Michael Jordan.
Analyst is
Michael Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I just put it together myself. Jordan. Sign me up. I'm all the way in. If he's just looking over the huddle with his arms crossed, like shaking his head, like, I don't know,
rolling
guys.
his eyes.
I don't know, guys. So your coach, you got two Omas over there, like some Finnish dude looking up at Michael Jordan's yellow eyeballs and be like, I don't know what to do, dude. Michael Jordan's right there. I'm getting nervous.
Imagine if they call Michael Jordan. They're like, all right, we figured out what your gig's going to be. He'd be like, what?
I said, all right, I'm in. Now I'm 100% in. If it's Michael Jordan, I'm sold. But to me, that just sounds like a sideline reporter like we've always had.
It's a good press release. Another of the quick hitters. I want to quote you, longtime New York media member Ian Begley, that there's strong support within the Knicks organization to retire Carmelo Anthony's number. That's what he said. I know there was strong support internally within MSG to retire Anthony's number. In checking around about this over the last couple of weeks, I could say that there remains strong support internally for retiring the number. Again, I can't say with 100% certainty that the Knicks will retire his number, but the internal discussions about the topic have continued in recent weeks. The decision to retire or not to retire Anthony's number will ultimately be made by owner James Dolan. Well, that comes as no surprise to anyone. The reason that this becomes a topic is because Carmelo Anthony just got his induction into the Hall of Fame. As a Knicks fan, do you believe that Carmelo Anthony's number should be hanging in the rafters at Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Okay. So you would be in favor of this. If they announced we are retiring Carmelo Anthony's number, you would be in favor of it.
I think a lot of the argument against would be where the playoff success is, where are the other banners in those rafters that he brought the franchise? But I think none of that was really his fault. A lot of injury stuff, roster construction, front office turmoil. There was so much going on. But also, I just want to make it clear, they put Harry Styles in the rafters at Madison Square Garden. So if Harry Styles can be up there, like we're not going to put Carmelo up there?
The
fish is up there, bro.
The complete list of retired numbers in Madison Square Garden: Walt Frazier, Dick Barnett, Earl Monroe, Dick McGuire, Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, Patrick Ewing, Red Holtzman. That's it.
Earl Monroe, friend of the family. Uncle Earl went to my wedding.
What?
My mother-in-law is close friends with Marita Monroe. Who's his lady? Uncle Earl.
I have met Earl Monroe.
Yeah.
I've had him in studio before, and I was in absolute stunned disbelief he's not big at all, right?
Hey,
also,
he's hunched over a little bit in his old age.
Amazing personality.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Earl.
He was so cool. He went to your wedding?
Yeah.
That is...
Marita Monroe is like Auntie Marita to my wife.
That is so worth bragging about.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody at mine. I had 2 buddies and my dad and my parents. And so when we got married, and how about this? We did it real small. We were just we're just doing this thing small, and we're just getting married, right? We're getting married, and we're doing it small. It'll be family and
smart.
2 friends.
Best way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
Family and a couple of friends, right?
Best way to do it.
Yeah, except I look up at my wedding, and I was like, who are these people? She's like, I'm sorry, my mom invited people.
Got out of control.
Like,
yeah.
No, the deal was...
Elena's mom has been planning for that day for 30 years.
I was like, the deal was it's like 2 friends in the family. No.
I will say, we had a star-studded wedding. None of the celebrities were invites of mine. Let's just say that.
That's amazing.
None of them.
That's amazing.
Whatsoever.
All right. Before we get out of here, did you see Luka Doncic say he actually opened up in a recent interview and gave some little known facts about him? He was super into gymnastics as a kid and whatever else in this new interview. Also mentioned that there was a movie he had watched 10 to 15 times.
The Town. Him and Joe Mazzulla.
Do you not know what movie this is?
Yeah, I saw in the rundown.
Oh, did you look up what movie it is?
I have twin daughters who are 9 years old. High School Musical.
It is High School Musical.
Have you seen it? You've got a daughter.
I have never watched it.
I've walked into the room. I might be mistaken on this. And I think Zac Efron is in it.
He is.
And I was like, is that Zac Efron? And they're like, yes. And I was like, he's in this movie? I was like, what the hell? I'm not of the age where I care to watch High School Musical with my young children, or I'm too old to care about High School Musical when it came out. So I kind of missed that gap. So
we're
it's
the
not
same age,
something
so
to me.
It applies to me as well.
Yeah.
But
if you're Luka's age, it was a thing. There's a 2, there's a 3. They came out with a ton of these things.
Right. I can't believe that Luka Doncic watched that 10 to 15 times. How many movies? Let's say he's not exaggerating. Okay? Let's just take him at face value. That he did. He liked that as a kid. He liked the music, and he watched that movie a ton. Luka Doncic. One of the greatest basketball players in the world. How many movies do you think you have seen 10 times? I'm saying you've seen that movie 10 times.
So I thought about this, and I'm not, I love the rewatchables on the Ringer Network. I don't rewatch movies at high quantity as a practice. But the movies that come to mind, the things that came to mind are VHS tapes that I absolutely burned out. And the 2 that came to mind are the first and second and 1 mixtapes. Remember those?
Oh.
I've watched those over and over and over.
That's
50,
crazy.
60 times. 60 times.
The 2 that were VHS ones for me would have been Come Fly With Me, the Jordan one.
Yeah.
I watched that 1,000 times. And Dazzling Dunks and Basketball Bloopers.
I forgot about that.
Marv Albert and Frank Layden.
Yeah, so those...
Oh, I watched it 1,000 times.
I didn't own either of those. The other one that I watched was Banned from TV. Do you remember that?
Oh, Banned from TV. Oh, what simpler times.
Banned from TV. It was just basically things you can't show on television, which is like murders and boobs. And I've watched that a million times.
Simpler times.
a million times. But the movie, to answer the question, the movie I've seen the most is Goodfellas. If Goodfellas is on, and when I used to have cable and I would scroll the guide, which I really miss. Remember scrolling the guide? This is what's on TV. I'm going to scroll the guide.
Did you have one that you watched like when you stayed home from school?
No, we didn't have a lot. We didn't have like a deep VHS collection when I was a kid.
For sure, I did The Princess Bride. I bet I've seen The Princess Bride 20 times.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. More. I watched it every. I mean, and interestingly enough, Lean on Me. The Morgan Freeman principal movie.
I thought you meant Stand By Me. Oh no, I've never seen Lean on Me in my whole entire life. Not once. Yeah. Not once.
The principal movie. Dr. Joe Clark. Joe Clark's going to come in and clean up the school.
Does he carry a baseball bat around the hallway or something?
Joe Clark. I loved that movie. I loved it. Oh, man. They have to sing the school song in the bathroom. Fair East Side.
So I loved it. I'm going to end the pod with a personal story that I probably shouldn't share. My wife is a director of documentaries. She's worked in the industry for a long time.
I've seen her Emmys.
Interviewed Morgan Freeman. A little weird.
You did?
No, he was a little weird.
You interviewed him?
No, my wife did.
Oh.
He was a little aggressive.
Oh, towards her.
Yeah, like, hey, man. Like, I wasn't there, obviously.
You thought he should chill out.
It's like, you're like 70, dude.
You think he should chill out?
I mean? Like, what are you doing? The camera's rolling and you're mic'd up. Like, what are you doing? A little weird.
He's the voice of God, bro. I mean,
no, not in my house. Not the voice of God in my house. Not the voice of God.
Look at Morgan Freeman trying to steal your wife. Mr. Steal Your Girl, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, dude. Google it. Google Morgan Freeman. He's got a checkered history when it comes to the ladies.
I mean, you're not going to make me hate Lean on Me.
No, but I'll make you think twice about God in a lot of ways.
It's a movie about a principal, man.
He's got a baseball bat.
Now I got to watch it and think about him hitting on Joey. This is ridiculous. Yeah. You just tried to ruin Morgan Freeman for me?
Morgan Freeman is ruined for me, and for good reason, so I want to ruin him for everybody else. You either care about Morgan Freeman or you care about David Jacoby. Pick a side. Pick a side.
This is like the new Trae Pat Bev.
Yeah. Don't at me, Morgan Freeman.
Who's your source?
I'll record a 12-minute podcast about you.
All right. It's going to do it for this week's show. Thank you to our executive producer, Jesse Lopez. As always, Jacoby, I'll talk to you next week.